Hello buddies, I found the best way to make the KFC style crispy chicken. With this recipe, you are assured of a perfectly cooked chicken with a crispy outside. So enjoy this video. I'll also be showing you all how I came about this recipe. So the first thing you need to do is to soak your chicken. Okay, here I use chicken thighs. So you soak your chicken with baking soda, salt and water. So you're going to soak this chicken for up to 2 hours or 3 hours depending. After 2 hours or 3 hours depending, you're going to take out your chicken thighs, and then wash thoroughly with either lemon juice, freshly squeezed lemon juice, or vinegar or white vinegar. Make sure you wash this thoroughly inside out. So once you are done washing that, you're going to add some buttermilk into this chicken. Next, you add in some rosemary seasoning. If you don't want to use this rosemary, you can also replace it with cooking thyme. Next, you go in with curry powder. After adding the curry powder, you go in with ground allspice. Okay, you can also replace this ground allspice with nutmeg powder. Next, you add in your red chili. You can replace the red chili with paprika. Then you go in with your minced onions. Also add in your seasoning powder, your chicken seasoning powder. Then you add in some salt. So after adding in the salt, you go in with whole oregano. So this oregano and some of the spices I use or herbs I use in this recipe, some of them are optional if you don't want to use them. Next, you go in with your white pepper powder, go in with ginger powder and garlic powder. You can replace the ginger and garlic powder with ginger and garlic paste or minced ginger and garlic. Next, you add in some basil leaves, and then you go in with sesame oil, sesame seed oil. And last but not the least, you add in your soy sauce, your dark soy sauce. Okay, then ensure you wash your hand thoroughly if you are to use your hand to mix this. Then make sure that the spices and the herbs, everything goes into this chicken thighs so well. And once you have combined everything, cover this and set it aside in an undisturbed place and let it stay for up to 12 to 24 hours. Now after 24 hours, my chicken thighs are ready. So the next thing to do is to transfer the chicken thighs with the marinade and a little bit of water to cook this chicken. Ensure that you cover this and let the chicken cook thoroughly. Also, if you have a pressure cooker just like the KFC does, you can use it to cook your chicken so that your chicken will turn out so tender and soft. So while your chicken is cooking, you get your all-purpose flour. To this flour, you add in mixed spice. After adding the mixed spice, you go in with your red chili powder. You can also replace this with paprika like I said before, and you add in some sugar, granulated sugar. Mix everything together just as you see in the video, and then you set that aside. Next, you're going to add 1 cup of milk into a bowl or into a plate, and to that you add in 1 whole egg. After adding that, you're going to mix the both together. Make sure everything is nicely mixed. Then you set this aside. Now your chicken are cooked and you are ready to do the coating. First, you coat this with the flour. After coating with the flour, then you're going to drop this into the egg and milk mixture. After dropping into the egg and milk mixture, you go back into the flour again, coat it with the flour. After coating with the flour, you drop it back into the egg and milk mixture and let it sit there for up to 3 minutes or 5 minutes thereabout. After that, you take it out, then you coat it with your cornflakes and breadcrumbs. So you're going to add your breadcrumbs and crush your cornflakes a little bit. Then you're going to use this to coat the chicken thighs that you have soaked in the milk and coated with the flour and thereabout. So you're going to coat it thoroughly, and there you go. Also, you may choose to first soak this or coat this in your flour, then drop into the water. Okay, let it sit in the water for up to 3 to 5 minutes. Take it out, drop it into the egg and milk mixture, then back into the flour. Okay, so once you are done coating it in the flour again, you're going to drop it back into the egg and milk mixture. Then the next thing to do is to coat it with the breadcrumbs and cornflakes mixture. Okay, now the last one, for those that are having milk intolerance or lactose intolerance, you can just use only water. Okay, once you coat it in the flour, you then drop it in the water for 3 to 5 minutes. Take it out, coat it again with the flour, drop it back into the water, then back into the flour again. So once you take it out from the flour, you take it back into the water again. Okay, so after taking it back into water, you have to let it sit in the water for up to 3 to 5 minutes as usual. Then you're going to coat it with the cornflakes and breadcrumbs. Next is to fry. Ensure that your oil has heated up, and then you're going to reduce the heat to medium heat. Drop in your chicken thighs to fry. So once you drop in the chicken thighs, you're going to cover this. Okay, also, I learned that in KFC, they make use of pressure cooker to fry theirs. But here, since I have cooked the chicken already, there's no need of using the pressure cooker to fry it. Okay, just let it fry for 3 minutes. After the 3 minutes, you're going to turn it over and let it fry for another 3 minutes, and your chicken is ready. Your crispy chicken are ready. Okay, just take it out from the oil, and then you are ready to serve. Drop them on a paper towel or in a colander and let them drain thoroughly, and you are ready to enjoy your crispy, amazing chicken thighs. So I decided to open it so you guys will see the inside. You can see how perfectly this cooked. Okay, you can see how soft it is. It was hot at this point. That's why I was trying not to hurt my hands. That's why I was so fast with it. You can see perfectly cooked. Oh my goodness. So this was how I came about this first recipe that I shared with you guys. After marinating my chicken, I just went ahead the normal way I've seen other people do it. Okay, soak in the flour, then dip in the water, take it out, soak again in the flour, and then that was done. I set it aside. So the next, I also repeated the same process, but this time around I used the egg and milk mixture. Okay, so after mixing the egg and the milk, I took out one of the chicken thighs, soaked in the flour or coated with the flour. Then I dropped it in the milk egg mixture, let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes, just the way I did with the water. And after that, I took it out from the milk and egg mixture, then coat it again with the flour, and that was done. Then the third one, just the same way, I coated with the flour, and to all of you, my amazing Body Farms top fans, I'm super grateful. After coating with the flour, I dropped it in the water for 3 to 5 minutes, coated it again with the flour, dropped in the egg milk mixture for 3 to 5 minutes, took it out, and then coated it with my breadcrumbs and cornflakes mixture. So after coating, I set that aside. Now for the last one, I took it out, coated it with the flour just as you see in the video, and after coating it with the flour, I dropped it in the water for 3 to 5 minutes, then drop in the egg milk mixture for 3 to 5 minutes, took it out, then coat with the flour, and after coating it with the flour, I dropped it again in the egg and milk mixture, but this time around just drop it in the egg and milk mixture, then set it for 3 to 5 minutes and then took it out and coated with the breadcrumbs and cornflakes. Now after coating this, I went ahead to fry just the same way I did the first one. I had to add oil in the pot, and then once my oil got heated up, I reduced the oil to medium heat, drop in these chicken thighs to fry, and then I also covered it just to mimic the pressure cooker method of frying. So this, I fried this for almost 7 minutes thereabout, or 8 minutes, because I fried for 4 minutes on each side on medium heat. You can literally see how it has fried, almost turning golden brown, and it looks good on the outside, but I was highly disappointed when I wanted to open this. I found that this wasn't cooked at all. The inside was so bloody. So I had to resort to the first recipe that I share with you guys. So I had to scrape off all the coatings I made for the chicken, and then I went ahead to cook my chicken, making sure my chicken was thoroughly cooked before I went to do the needful. And I had these amazing chicken thighs, like so crispy and tender and delicious.